It's Friday. That means we have just about a week or so before the next schedule of elections. That will be for the governorship and the houses of assembly. But we'll be rounding off, shall we say, on our commentary on the election that has just been concluded and where we actually have now a president-elect and a vice president-elect from the ruling APC. In fact, just yesterday, the National Working Committee of the ruling APC paid a congratulatory visit to the victors of the 2023 presidential election.
Guests from within and the international community have started paying congratulatory visits to Asiwaju Bola Tinubu after receiving a certificate of return from the Independent National Electoral Commission. The national chairman of the leading party, Senator Abdullahi Adamu, arriving with members of the APC National Working Committee to meet with the president-elect. The APC national chairman expressed optimism that the new administration, which will take over from President Muhammadu Buhari, would deliver on the promises to Nigerians.
We've come to celebrate. Thank God for you here.
Asiwaju Tinubu, who dedicated the victory to Nigerians, said he is committed to unifying the nation. He promised that he will fulfill his renewed hope mantra.
I promise you, it's going to be a fair government, guided by the rule of law, justice, and fairness. It's going to be a hard work from day one, and we all together join hands to build a promise in Nigeria.
Former Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Babagana Kingibe, and Chief of Staff to Mr. President, Professor Ibrahim Gambari, were also on hand to congratulate the President-elect.
Mr. President-elect, God has placed the burden on you to calm the nerves, to unite our people, and move on purposefully with the business of governance.
I want to congratulate Asiwaju for a victory long in coming. But sometimes people say God's time is the best. I disagree. God's time is the only time. Because when you say God's time is best, compare with whose time and with what time.
Also in the list of guests who visited President-elect Asiwaju Tinubu are former governor of Adamawa State, Murtala Nyako, and leader of the Commonwealth Election Observers to Nigeria, Thabo Mbaki. It is expected that the residence of the president-elect will continue to be home for many guests and well-wishers who would be adding their congratulatory visit to the long list. Ola Awakon, TVC News, Abuja.
Okay, well, that's going to be, I imagine, the regime in another week or so, even though there's a lot more work to be done, but still the world is congratulating the APC presidential candidate and his running mate on their victory. But for the sake of completeness, it must be said, it happens in elections, especially in Nigeria. I don't think there's ever been any presidential election where there won't be naysayers who say they will be pursuing their grievance in court, which is exactly as has always been recommended. Let's just keep the calm, please. We're a civilized society. If anybody has any issues, the courts are there. And in fact, speaking about that, 6 states, the newspapers are reporting this morning, 6 states of the Federation have actually approached the Supreme Court over the conduct, collation, and announcement of the election that has been won by Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, talking about Adamawa, Akwa Ibom, Bayelsa, Delta, Edo, and Sokoto states. So those states are at the Supreme Court, and indeed, that's as should be. That's, if you have an issue, don't take it to the streets, take it to the courts, and this is where we are. But, it continues. The journey, the electoral journey continues. we are taking our focus away in the country, I imagine, from the presidential election. Now we shall be switching to the governorship elections shortly. And in fact, just about, on Saturday next week, March the 11th, that's when indeed all the forces, political forces, shall be out again. No doubt, a lot of well, when I say a lot, I shouldn't say a lot. We're just 3-4 front runners that really will hope to make some change or some difference at the election on that day to the overall scheme of things, where some had a victory when it came to the numbers concerning the presidential election. It is possible that there will be spirited efforts to adjust those numbers at this particular election. So all of that is up for grabs. It's up in the air. Lagos State is a case to be noted. In Lagos State, the Labour Party narrowly, pipped the ruling party, and it has been acknowledged. In fact, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu has said that he put out a statement at the time, say, just chill, everybody chill. Look, what has happened is in the nature of democratic politics, and this is the way that it could go, and that it has gone that way. He gave his word beforehand, and he said it again, that he will always accept, the results of any election that has been properly conducted. So, was counseling people, just don't worry about it. Let's move on from here and continue the hard work that has been going on. So that's, a sort of a roundup of where we are. We're going into the weekend, and it will be, I'm sure, to prepare, for the week that will be beginning on Monday. And as you know, we have just from Monday to Thursday for all electoral matters, after which I think, the class is shut. No more comments, at least public, what are those comments? Partisan comments from then on. At the end of the day, there's been a lot of commentary on this election, and that's, quite frankly, in fact, as you know, international leaders have been congratulating the winner of the 2023 presidential election. That is notwithstanding that there might be protests, disagreements locally. As I said, the courts have always been advised, and that's no news. That's exactly how it should be. But most people are saying, congratulations, APC, congratulations, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu and his running mate. But it's not over till it's over. Okay, stay with us. We'll take a break. We'll be right back.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move way in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
Voted as the best TV station of the year. TVC News breaks into the core of every event as they happen, following all nationwide big and impactful stories. Without the news from every perspective, covering every human angle. I am Veronica, bringing you the news you would want to watch.
Every major news story is with many perspectives and layered with different levels of impact.
Hello. What time did
The news first with breaking news.
Okay, welcome back. And this is the aftermath, as I said, of the presidential election. Most people have already congratulated the winners. The ruling APC's candidate has won that election as declared by INEC. But I was telling you that 6 states have actually gone to the Supreme Court saying that, as it were, we no go giri. It's within the law. We no go giri. That's appealing to the Supreme Court to do their prayer, grant their prayer, the states being Adamawa, Akwa Ibom, Bayelsa, Delta, Edo, and Sokoto. And in particular, what they are asking for, they want the Supreme Court to declare that the pronouncement of the candidate of APC, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, as the winner in the February 25 elections should be voided. Should be voided. The democratically conducted election should be voided. I won't go into the details of it here, but no doubt you've seen it on your front, on your newspapers as well. They want what they call a declaration that the entire at the National Collation Center, Abuja, in flagrant violation, according to them, in flagrant violation of the provisions of, well, so many sections of the law. Well, let me go. Section 25, 47, Section 25, then 47, 2, 61, and 61 and 2, and 4, and 5, then 62, 64, 4, A, and B, and 70. So this is lawyer talk. They have to be that particular. It doesn't mean very much to the people walking the streets, the ordinary people walking the streets. But all those things are very, very important. It will take the justices of the Supreme Court to sort of, decipher all of that and evaluate. And as you know, there are senior advocates of Nigeria on all sides, not just one side. They'll be pursuing it, but it has been, generally speaking, not speaking lawyer speak, everything seems to be hinged on INEC not having uploaded results as they had promised. Well, I don't know what the pleas are going to be, but we've heard already that INEC just did what was expedient, what was needful in the circumstances of that election. But let me not go into it because they're going to be my betters are going to be commenting on this matter from a perspective of knowledge and of the law. But there's no way you avoid the fact that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu has won this election, has been presented with the certificate of returns, but there still are those, and it is allowed in a democracy, who say, we no go giri. Good morning to you, Mr. George.
Good morning, Uncle Yori.
Thank you very much.
Uncle Yori, there are no details yet about the Anogogri state. So one will not be able to comment until we see their kind of argument, what they are arguing,
indeed,
and the points they have. But I want to talk about the NWC of APC and Lagos State upcoming elections.
Okay, please go ahead.
The NWC did a very good job. They worked in unison. I would say kudos to the chairman because of what the hard work he did. There were some issues before the campaign. He was able to put that behind him and finish the job, and he ended up delivering the candidate. To me, that is kudos. I mean, that is worthy of praise. Uncle Yori, it is not that the great man is not the one that has never made a mistake. It is the one that was able to identify that he has made a mistake and able to correct it.
Yeah.
That's what the chairman displayed to me in this election. And you can see the end now. He succeeded. So, coming to Lagos, Uncle Yori, what I am seeing that is playing out is ethnicity and high wire conspiracy. I belong to a group, I won't say it on air, and we gathered a number of facts about how this result came about in Lagos. Before the election, so many people of Igbo extraction from different parts of the country transferred to come and vote in Lagos. for a pre-designed purpose. And the conspiracy and what they are telling people around is that Lagos is a no man's land. Uncle Yori, I'm not aware of any territory in this country that does not belong to anybody. In fact, I see it as a sign of ingratitude. It's a case like this. A landlord rents a room to you. When you settled in the room, you are living fine, you became comfortable, and you now want to eject the landlord that owns the house. That's what I am seeing. We have also checked and discovered that the candidate of the Labour Party in the governorship race in Lagos has 85% of the House of Assembly seats being contested by Igbos. I don't believe in ethnicity, but these are the facts, and these are some discoveries we made. So that means this is like a long designed plan. I don't think that with the way Lagos has been, that the critical infrastructure here, no, it wasn't developed on the basis of ethnicity. Lagos is home for everybody in Nigeria. But I don't think that privilege should be taken to the extent of wanting to eject those who made the enabling environment for you to live and thrive. There are some of us who cannot even stay in our state of origin. There's hardly a former governor in Nigeria that doesn't have a house in this Lagos. And nobody has ever told them, don't stay here, or give them, discriminatory conditions under which they can live in Lagos.
Okay.
So I think it is wrong for anyone to be planning ethnic voting in Lagos.
All right,
it's
then.
Not for. Mm-hmm. There are some dangers in it, and it should be avoided because the owners of Lagos will want to fight back.
All right, then. Okay, Mr. George, thank you very much. Appreciate your calling in this morning. In a way, it's not really a delicate matter, but one should be sensitive about it. The leadership of APC in Lagos, as you well know, I'm speaking about Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu in particular, he's always, he's one of the most well-known detribalized persons, and he and his administration in Lagos, as it was when he was a governor, and let it be said, he still has influence in Lagos, but it has always been about all are welcome in Lagos. The country belongs to everybody. But as Mr. George then explained that, look, in your opinion, you see some moves that perhaps people need to look at carefully and perhaps have a rethink about. Well, indeed, your impression, your opinion has been noted, but for the moment, I guess we should leave it there. And thank you very much, Mr. George, for calling in on that particular point. Now, as I said, we're going into the governorship election. Lagos is one of those places. And so in the conversation that we'll be having with my guest, Honorable Efe Ofobruku, he's a two-time member of the Delta State House of Assembly. That was from between 2011 and 2015. All the other state election issues coming up will be there. Honorable Efe Ofobruku, is a former special advisor to Governor Ifeanyi Okowa on legislative matters, and that was between 2019 and 2021. And he indeed himself was an aspirant, a governorship aspirant, but now is a critical stakeholder, an APC chieftain. Good morning to you, Honorable Efe Ofobruku.
Good morning, and thank you for having me.
Indeed, it is our pleasure. So going into the governorship race after the presidential, let's start from your stake. A viewer from home has kicked off the aspect in Lagos, but from your end over there, when it comes to Delta, give me your impressions. How well do you rate the chances of your party, APC, in the upcoming race? Well, Honorable Ofrobruku, okay, let me take Garba. Garba from Makurdi, good morning to you, sir. Garba?
Good morning, Uncle Yori.
Good morning, sir. Thank you for calling in.
Thank you for having me. See, I want to make my contribution this year expressly.
Go ahead,
Hello,
please.
Are you with me?
Go
Okay.
ahead, we can hear you.
You see, I want to call on the Labour Party, UDP, and Mr. George to make comments. Please, I'm urging on Nigerians. Most Nigerians are living in Lagos to desist from any comment that would stabilize the whole process. Please, I'm urging them. Look at what happened in Benin State. Honestly, I never like this election. Everybody was shocked about Benin State, what happened in Benin State. And I'm calling on Aswaji, the president-elect, to call father and thank him. Despite the all campaign of religious tendencies, accusing a lot of things, but he starts telling anywhere he goes, urging senior people to vote for him, irrespective people to reach out. Irrespective of the campaign that they do. And at the end of the day, if he results, nobody saw it coming. And I'm telling you this, with all sense of honesty. The government contesting as a senator, he lose. Former governor, senator, lose. Members of House are free and fair. No rancor. Nobody can challenge that election in the state. So I'm holding on Nigeria to build on this state. This is against right. No matter how, no election is started in the whole world. But this is never started, honestly. That's the gospel truth.
All right, then.
Anybody that will come and get another TV just only for selfish interest. Have a look over there.
Indeed. Thank you very much, Garba. Thank you very much for calling from home. But as you know, those who lose elections will express themselves. Not always. Sometimes they just do the gentlemanly thing and congratulate the winner. Other times it's a bit more involved than that. But one way or the other, APC has won this election. It has been duly declared. But if you want to contest that fact, there's a civilized way to do it, and that seems to be what, at least so far, 6 states have decided that they need to do. Adamawa, Akwa Ibom, Bayelsa, Delta, Edo, and Sokoto have decided that they want to ask or see if the Supreme Court will be agreeable to voiding the election that the country is already being congratulated on. You know, that might not be to the satisfaction of everybody, but it is a fact. World leaders are already congratulating the country, and in particular, the winner, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and his running mate. But that doesn't mean that there were no other comments are allowed. The important thing, I think everybody will agree, is that you put those comments across in the right way. Let's just go to an organized system, an organized authority. And in this case, the opportunity is there of the Supreme Court, and so people go there. One doesn't want to come in too much on the matter because there's a sense, we listen to so many lawyers, I don't know if it's sub judice or not yet, but still, one could err on the side of caution and not really dive in there with opinions. Let us leave the opinions to their lordships when they do indeed proffer them. But for now, APC, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, they've won this election. And we sort of go on from there. And so we're going on to the governorship race. We wanted to speak with, in fact, we still want to speak, I shouldn't put it in the past tense. We'd like to speak with Honorable Efe Ofrobruku, but I don't know if there's some challenges. Honorable Efe, can you hear us now? Is there still appears to be a challenge? Well, if there is a challenge.
I can hear you now.
Ah, okay. Okay, Honorable. Delighted that you can hear us. Yep, I got you. I got you. So the last time, you might not have heard, I was asking, going into the next set of elections, the governorship and House of Assembly, I wanted you to assess for me, if you will, APC's, your party's chances in that election. What does it look like? Of course, we all know that the running mates of one of the contestants against Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, or APC, I should say, one of the, comes from there. One of the running mates comes from there. But going out to the governorship election, give me your assessment of the situation, the chances of your party in Delta. Honorable Efe, well, perhaps you can keep the calls coming then. Perhaps you can keep the calls coming, but let's go on break first. And then when we come back, if the situation is still the way it is, I guess we'll keep the calls coming and we'll talk about it in a more general way, not just with a Delta State. Stay with us, please.
It's the most visited state in Africa. As the 5th largest economy on the continent, covering Lagos and its government is no mean feat. It's a busy beat. We go beyond the cutting of tapes to traveling far into the deep.
I want to thank the Lagos state government for the healthcare facility.
To bring stories that cut across all spectrums.
A greater Lagos shall be ours.
Stories that define our collective well-being as Lagosians. I'm Adedoja Salamadeni. I live in Lagos, inside Lagos.
It's not your regular show. It's an online interactive session where we share my views on the everyday issues that cut across politics, security, health, current affairs, governance, and so much more. I am passionate about our country. I choose to support any conversation geared towards building a better Nigeria. I am Babajide Kolade Otitoju. Join me every Saturday on TVC News YouTube channel as I discuss Nigeria and the world at large on the show, Issues with Jide.
So, all in favor say aye. Those against no, the ayes have it.
What do you know about the legislature, its role in governance, and as one of the 3 arms of government? Lagos Parliament is here to bring it to you as it is. Here to bring you every detail you need to know about the legislature in Africa's most populous city. On Lagos Parliament, you get a chance to meet the lawmaker of the week. Events are critically reviewed. You can also observe plenary in Yoruba language. I am Abimbola Agbebi. Join me every Friday at 9 p.m. as I take you through the activities of the legislature.
Information is power, information is security, information is knowledge. On Labor Lens, we believe that working people around the world have real questions of their own. They want to know how the world of work operates, what it means to the employer of labor, how policies affect workers in the workplace. On Labor Lens, I ensure we engage effectively the organized labor, organized private sector, and government to get out of them information workers are in need of. I am Sharon Ijason, asking questions that make you get sense of the workplace.
It's the most visited state in Africa. As the 5th largest economy on the continent, covering Lagos and its government is no mean feat. It's a busy beat. go beyond the cutting of tapes to traveling far into the deep.
I want to thank the Lagos State government for the healthcare facility.
To bring stories that cut across all spectrums.
A greater Lagos shall be ours.
Stories that define our collective well-being as Lagosians. I'm Adedoja Salamadini. I live in Lagos, inside Lagos.
The TVC News at 7 and the TVC News at 10 are not like any other news broadcast.
It's the big news hour, the hour for the big breaking stories.
We've got some of the best reporters on the field,
taking you through as it happens.
It's fast-paced, hard-hitting,
with investigations that matter.
Bringing in news that affects your life.
With sport, entertainment and business news so you don't miss a thing.
Experience resourceful coverage with depth.
Every night.
Okay, welcome back. We seem to be having one or two technical challenges. It can happen. I don't know, can't make too much of it, but there appear to be technical challenges even with INEC. We're talking about the conclusion, the successful conclusion of the 2023 elections, February 25, and a winner is known around the world. APC has won that election, the ruling party, so the ruling party is succeeding itself. But as I was saying, it's all over the press that the contestants are not all in agreement. So you have a situation where the man who placed third, Mr. Obi of Labour Party, has said that he's heading to courts and he will be proving how it is that he won. Meanwhile, the candidate of the PDP, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, has said that Peter Obi did not win enough votes to be made president, and it's observed that while Obi got 6 million votes, 6,101,533 from 36 states of the federation, the largest chunk, the biggest chunk of votes, 1.9 million, actually comes in the southeast states of Abia, Anambra, Ebonyi, Enugu, and Imo. The balance of those votes won by LP outside of the southeast are Lagos, Plateau, and Cross River, including, I beg your pardon, that's not the end, Edo Delta and Nasarawa. So Mr. B got votes from all those places, and Mr. Atiku Abubakar has said that Obi didn't, secure enough votes to be declared the president. But there's no such contention when it comes to Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Kashim Shettima. But nevertheless, they say they will be approaching the courts. If the presidential candidate of the PDP is saying that the presidential candidate of LP did not win enough votes, did not qualify to be declared the winner of that election, I guess it stands to reason that the truth lies with just one of them, because both of them can't be correct. Mr. Obi says he's going to be approaching the Supreme he said he's going to prove how he was robbed, put that in parentheses, how he was robbed. And Mr. Atiku says Obi didn't win. Now, Tinubu did win. Bola Ahmed Tinubu and his running mate Kashim Shettima, they did win and were so declared and have been issued certificates of return. And I was saying, off the top of my head now, the British Prime Minister, he had sent in his congratulations. You saw the picture the video that we had earlier. You saw a former president of South Africa there. Generally, the whole world recognizes this victory for what it was. Never mind the Financial Times. Many of you would have read the Financial Times article. They're entitled to their opinion. It was a scathing article. There's a sense in which it was very anti-Nigerian. There's nothing that they didn't call Nigeria, and they're making all sorts of inciting statements, talking about the Financial Times of London. Well, I guess it's a free world, and It is democracy. But you see, readers, viewers, listeners, you know, they have a mind too. So they'll take whatever it is that is being put out there. And especially those that are on the ground here, especially those that are on the ground here and witness that election. We've made the point, and the point has been made from outside too, that no election is ever perfect. But I guess what the experts say is that whatever it was lacking in perfection, was it enough to nullify the entire exercise? I guess, again, I'm not going to bring an opinion in on that. We're going to wait for their lordships. Those are the kind of things that are going to be decided. All sorts of forensic evidence, if they have it, they'll be bringing it forward. Social media is not something that you really cite or quote, but you see all sorts of, you know, instances of underage, you know, voting, allegedly. If we're talking legal, let's just put this allegedly. The fact that the picture you are shown doesn't look as if this person is of voting age, well, you don't know him. You're going to have to maybe, you know, interview him and know exactly what the situation is. But there are all sorts. That's the certificate of return I was talking about. Kashim Shettima has his own. There are two of them. But let's check again with Honorable Efe of Obruku. Honorable Efe, third time hopefully is the charm. Can you hear me? Honorable Efe. Well, regular viewers know that it is like this sometimes. Honorable Efe of Obruku in Delta State. Can you read me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, let's just try. Let's just go. Give me your impressions, please, about the governorship elections coming up next week. Delta, your state, is one of those states that is contesting, and it's your former party, the PDP, that is contesting this election. They're one of the 6, including Adamawa, Akwa Ibom, Bayelsa, Edo, and Sokoto, that are asking the Supreme Court to void this election. What do you think are the chances of the governorship election coming up for your party, APC?
The chances of APC in Delta State is getting brighter and brighter every day, considering the outcome of the elections on the 25th of February 2023. What we are seeing at the moment in Delta is a referendum on the present administration in the state. A situation where you have people of diverse political leaning all coming together to decide to vote in one direction. In fact, it is a settled matter that for the governorship of Delta State, who from across the 3 senatorial districts, they decided to put their money where their mouth is by making sure that they vote the Deputy President of the Senate, Obarisi Obioma Agege, as the governor of Delta State. On the issue of the governorship of Delta State, the party is just a vehicle to convey the candidate to destination. We are all looking in one direction. We are looking at an individual. We are looking at the candidacy of Obioma Agege. We are not comparing parties on the issue of governorship at all. We are comparing the quality of the people that are contesting for governorship. Some of us indicated interest initially because we believe that we cannot use the education we have acquired to expand the frontiers of thuggery and illiteracy in Delta State. There are better people with better pedigree, with better experience that can govern Delta State. Some places have been beating their chests, talking about street credibility and talking about excess local content. Local content is not for governance in 2023. Local content is not for the administration of a state. These are the same people who have, within the shortest time in the history of any parliament anywhere in the world, approved 120 billion naira as loan for a government that is exiting in less than 120 days. So what are we talking about? What is the loan for? It's standard practice. Before a parliament will approve any loan for any government, there must first of all be a minutes of ESCO committee where the ESCO agreed that the state should go on such loan. Then secondly, the purpose for the loan, the project, the value of each of the project, the allocations must all also be on an annexure as an addendum to the letter making the request. But the reverse is the case. It's just a blanket approval. We are not ignorant of the fact that the purpose of the fund is for elections, but God knows better. God is stronger than them. Of course, we saw the outcome. So we can therefore say in our local parlance that the 120 billion has gone into voicemail. It is pathetic. It's unfortunate. As I speak to you as a Deltan, every Deltan is an involuntary debtor today. Every Deltan is owing one way or the other. Whether you like it or not, we are all owing because it's a case of third-party borrowing. Loans have been taken on our behalf that we did not sign on to, which we have to pay in our generation or our children's generation we inherited. Okay. Now, you want to match the volume of loans taken with the projects or the development. It's not personal. The PDP candidate is from my place. It's not personal. But you will not give a job that somebody is not qualified for to one who you know obviously that is not qualified for the job. If you need a megad, you know the kind of people to recruit from megad. If you need a youth chairman, youth president, community chairman, you know the kind of people to recruit. When we talk about the governance of Delta State in 2023, come on, my brother.
Yeah, okay.
Delta is neighbor to Anambra State. You cannot have the former CBA governor as the governor of Anambra State, while we're talking of excessive local content or swift credibility as governor of Delta State.
Okay.
No. We will not want, personally, we will not want to invite our governorship candidate to go into any form of a debate with our opponent. Let him come and debate with me. He should tell us what he has to offer. Delta has moved beyond the kind of people that are being paraded. So for the governorship, it is Obioma Gege, it is OAPC all the way. And there's nothing the rigging machine of PDP can do about it. This is the first time PDP is going for election in Delta State. They have always written results in time past. They know.
Okay. Oma Agege, I like the way you put that because Lagos viewers listening to me probably learned from that. Oma Agege, because, you know, in Lagos here, it'll be Oma Agege. No, Oma Agege. I hear that. But give me your comments on, you know, your former party. Well, maybe approaching the Supreme Court. Give me your impressions on PDP approaching the Supreme Court. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Honorable Lepe? Give me your thoughts on...
I can hear you.
Okay, PDP, among those going to... PDP and Labour Party have approached the Supreme Court. Give me your impressions about that.
You will agree with me that the campaign of the Labour Party presidential candidate was two-sided. Nigeria is a heterogeneous country. It was two-sided because Peter Obi's campaign was premised on ethnicity and religiosity. He was more or less an ethno-religious candidate, appealing to the Christians, appealing to the Igbos across the various states of the country. I'll give you a quick example. Presidential candidate goes into a state, he goes to Southern Kaduna to campaign because of the volume of Christians in Southern Kaduna. For Southern Kaduna, he goes to Sebongeri in Zaria to campaign because of the volume of Igbo traders that are in Sebongeri. Now, you ask me, is Kaduna State made up of only Sabongeri, Zaria, and Southern Kaduna? The answer is no. So, if you ask me, the outcome of the election is a true reflection of the feelings and the way the people see it. So, crying now that, oh, up to the mandatory 24 states, you are saying that you are the winner.
Yeah.
Now, ask me,
but he's saying he was robbed. No, I beg your pardon. He's saying, Honorable, he's saying he was robbed and that he intends to prove it. And he might not necessarily agree with all that you've just stated, that he was appealing to just religious and ethnic sentiments.
I salute his courage for agreeing to toe the line of going to court. I salute his courage for agreeing to go to court. I think it's the right thing to do. But he who comes to equity must come with clean hands. It's a popular maxim. Let us look at the result in the Southeast, where APC, I followed our presidential candidate to campaign in some of these areas, where APC, even having candidates for the various elections in those states, yet we are told that we scored zero. The way they interfered with the elections in the Southeast is so cruel that you will know that these people do not even know what they are doing. It is not possible for the All Progressive Congress, the APC, to have scored zero in those elections where they gave us zero. If you talk about allocation of figures or manipulation of figures, the South is the result from the South is actually the headquarters of that. If you talk about manipulation, let's take, for example, we in Delta cannot necessarily be kind of manipulation because we have a vice presidential candidate of the PDP as governor of Delta State. He was helpless. He was helpless. He couldn't do much. Look at Cross River State, for instance. The sitting governor is an APC governor. He ran for Senate. He lost.
Yeah, there wasn't any rigging then.
What about Governor Otom? Governor Otom, who even endorsed Peter Obi in Benue State, that was going to be Peter Obi all the way. He ran for Senate, he lost. The beauty of the case of Governor Otom was that APC defeated him. So these are the issues. This is what we are saying. That's very unfair.
Yeah.
Anyway, it is very common with the Nigerian politicians when they lose.
As you say,
they are very bad losers.
As
for
PDP, it is not all that surprising. You recall, you know, and I'm sure you've read by now that even the presidential candidate of the opposition PDP, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, has said that Peter Obi, he cannot be president going by his performance. He just didn't have enough votes. That's coming from, so it's between the two of them. The person who came third in the race is protesting that he won. The person who came second in the race is sort of underlining the fact that, don't worry about it. That person who came third cannot possibly be a winner. So it'll be interesting to hear what they do indeed get out of the Supreme Court should the matter go there. I think they have announced that they are Supreme Court bound. They're heading for the Supreme Court. We'll see how all of that goes. But you say that the chances, in spite of Okowa, the running mate of the PDP candidate, coming from your state, you still feel that that's not a problem. That's not a problem. APC will have a good showing. Is that what you're saying?
The outcome of the elections so far in Delta State is a referendum on the present administration.
Okay.
I can assure you that we are going to come out with a very good showing at the end of the day. They've started issuing threatening voters not to come out on election day except they want to cast their vote for their party. But we know how to checkmate them. You see, political parties don't make people tick. It is people who make political parties tick. Many of these gladiators in APC today were people who used to be in PDP, who made PDP tick in Delta State. And a lot of them have left the party. A lot of them have left. If you ask me, it's a referendum on the party. It's a referendum on the style of leadership in the state.
Okay.
It is people that will cast their votes. It is not threat. We are ready for them. We in Delta, we have made up our mind that for 2023, we are going to do paradigm shift. We are shifting completely from the modus operandi of PDP. We are giving all our votes to Senator Ovioma Agege to be governor of Delta State so that we can have the better Delta. We are tired of what we are seeing. Like I mentioned earlier, just oppose the level of development with the loans that have been taken, you will discover that the disparity is out of this world. For 2023 governorship election, I beat my chest to say to you that we are ready to go to the ballot, we are ready to vote, their intimidation will not stop us, their threat will not stop us. I use this opportunity to call on security agencies to be up and doing, to get ready, because it's a showdown. I told somebody, I said it's going to be last fight for PDP, and they will come out smoking, but we are ready for them. The Bible says many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord God delivered him from them all. We are very sure that we will be delivered from the afflictions of PDP at the end of the day. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Efe Ofobruku, two-time member of the Delta State House of Assembly, so you certainly do know the terrain. We're going to have to leave it there. Thank you very much. And also, sort of apologizing to our viewers because it didn't go quite the way we wanted. It happens from time to time. So that's our program today. Please join us on Monday for a fresh edition, and that will be the week that will be counting down into the governorship elections 2023. Do have a great weekend. I'm Yori Folari. Bye-bye for now.
Every week, Green Angle, in partnership with Wild Aid, will bring you a documentary series on